All right, continuing on with Berserk. I haven't read on any further because I want to talk about what I've already read first before continuing on. I'm just going to binge more and then fall behind again, but here we go. Continuing on with the Holy Chain Knight arc, things that's happening. So I left off when we were introduced to a new child's character. Now, I like Jill from the previous arc. Actually, I adored her and her story, so I'm having faith that I will like this character as well. And it's looking good, but I really don't usually like child characters, but Berserk has been breaking that, I guess, stigma for me. So I usually find child characters annoying. But this kid, he's growing up in Berserk world, okay? He had to grow up fast. So he has a bunch of food that he's saying good won't starve, basically, when a bunch of bandit people, or maybe even the knights, who cares, does not matter. Some adults come to steal food from this starving child. Supposedly starving. He's not starving. He's doing fine. And he's like, no, you can't take this from me. It's mine. And they take it anyway. And then they start complaining about feeling funny. The food has been poisoned. It's all a trap. He's like, I already got my food here in this jacket. I'm all good. That's the stuff that was a trap for you guys. Whether or not he was planning on robbing them or something, not really sure. But I do love it when a kid can get something over on an adult in this kind of non-slapstick way. That being said, someone does get hit in the face with a sausage. But they end up going after the kid anyway and are about to take him out when the kid's just like, oh, the assassins that you guys are at war with, right behind you. And they're like, are you insane? No. They would have killed not only everyone here, but this child. They're mercenaries. They would not hold back. You would be dead along with them. It's like, and then, of course, Guts shows up, takes out the adults attacking child. Puck is just chilling, like, yeah, this is what we're doing now. Hey, how you doing, kid? Kid's like, elf, freaking out. And Guts takes down all the mercenaries, as well as evil assassins, things that they're at war with, who showed up randomly. What they are doing here, not really sure. That's sort of a lie because they're at war with the armies of this world, Midlands, I guess. And we know that the people who attacked the one who's in love with Griffith had elephants and everything, so I feel like that's also their army. But regardless, Guts takes them down without real issue, and the boss is just like, yeah, we've got other things we gotta be doing, so we're not going to go after the man who just slaughtered one of our squads. Yeah, let's go do stuff over in that direction. And pretty sure these are the people from that Guts had faced with the Swirly Blades back a couple arcs ago when he was still with the Band of the Hawk. So my only hesitation is, will I like this kid who is now following Guts around like a little puppy who's very struck by Guts being so powerful and being able to take down these mercenaries. And like, I think at one point he tries to pick up Guts' sword and it's just like too heavy for him. And of course he's got like Puck flying around with him. Like, that's amusing to a child. So I trust the author that I will like his character as well. But that being said, whenever a child's character shows up, I'm always a little hesitant. But meanwhile, do I talk about Casca first, or do I talk about the Iron Chain Knights? Let's start with Casca, because sweet girl needs a break in her life. She is lost in the trauma of everything that's happened, and she's hanging out with the prostitutes from the camp with the Iron Chain Knights. And, like, there are these religious orders, yet many of their people are visiting the prostitutes, so, like, is hypocrites, regardless. Starts with an L. What's her name? I like her. Luca. Adore this girl. I love her so very much. Smart, resourceful, dimension smart, and protecting Casca. Yes, okay, I like her. Surviving might be a big ask for this series. I want her to survive. Can I have her have a happy life? A happy life in Berserk is not looking likely. But anywho, she is with a customer, and he is fawning over her. She is not falling for his sweet talking whatsoever. He's going on about how he's going to take her away from this life. She'll be his official mistress because he can't marry her. That's ridiculous. She's too lowly at birth. He's going to be some high-ranked knight one of these days. But eventually he leaves because Casca comes in covered in bandages. They're pretending she has syphilis because she obviously is not in the mental mindset to consent to being a prostitute in this place. But Luca is taking care of her, as she is the other women in this camp. So she takes the pearl necklace that customer had given her, cracks it off, gives all the pearls, divides it among them to take care of each other. Partly because they have to band together to protect each other in this world, partly because they can't afford to build resentment if one is getting wealthier than the others, and then someone turns you in for being a harlot or a heretic, whatever it's called. It's not going to end well for you. So if you make it so your success brings other people's success, they're not going to turn you in. Smart girl. She also gives a little bit of extra money, or it was medicine, sorry, that a doctor client had given her to a different girl who very clearly needs it. And again, taking extra care to take care of Casca, make sure she doesn't get into trouble. Other girl whose name, she's important, I need to learn her name. Nina. Now, at first, I thought, innocent girl, she doesn't understand the greatest of what's happening to her. She's sick, most likely STDI, and she just knows one day it'll probably drive her mad, and she's bleeding, and it's not a good life for her, but she's also taking care of Casca, so I'm thinking, cool, fine. And as they're walking through the camp, one guy is like half getting stoned to death. And you can't be on the outside of this. If you say what the religious order is doing is wrong, then you're just going to be the next one on the chopping block. So she picks up a stone, throws it at the man to show support, to be on their side, but she looks hesitant. It's paining her. She doesn't think this is right, but she's trying to protect herself, and she makes Casca also like throw a stone. We also see her having an argument with one of the boys or men in the camp area, talking about how I'm not giving you any more freebies. So that's kind of her boyfriend, and she very clearly likes him, doesn't want him involved in her situations, trying to push him away. And she's like, if you ever truly love me, meet me at the lake at this time. So he ends up meeting her at that lake, and I'm thinking, cliche, maybe they're run away together, okay, maybe tragic ending, heartfelt, these lovers are going to get cut down for doing something. No. She lures him to an orgy where heretics, devil worshippers, something, there's a goat man with a snake for a member that I'm not sure I was supposed to take that seriously because it turned into a snake and the guy had to kiss it, and I'm just, his snake got turned into a snake. They are hallucinating like crazy. Again, orgy, morphing figures. It's a weird acid trip scene, and pretty sure he's been drugged by whatever's in this stew of human body parts that he's been tricked into eating. Then he freaks out and makes a run for it, leaving his girlfriend behind, she's very upset about this. She was just trying to initiate him into her devil-worshipping orgy cult. And he ends up falling. Does he get pushed? Okay, he's running, they're chasing him. They chase him over the cliff. I don't know if it was an intention. I don't think anyone pushed him. So he falls over the cliff. Also, no death confirmed, he's still alive. So she, at first, is like very psycho look in the eyes as if, oh well, another recruit has fallen to his death, but then she also breaks down saying, you promised you wouldn't leave me. So she actually did care for him, and I like that aspect to her character. I thought they were just going to end it there, but both Casca and Luca had both followed her to this area, and Luca, sweet, smart girl, understands sort of what's happening. And when all the other cult people left and Nina's having her small little breakdown, she tries to throw rocks and stuff at Lucas, trying to warn her off, saying, go away, you don't understand, I don't want your pity. My cult members will come and they will kill you if you get too close to me. And Luca just continues marching on, goes straight to her, slaps her across the face, smacks her behind like she's a little child. And it's like, I am your mother in a way, and I will punish you for being a child who does not listen to me. And eventually she just breaks down and allows her to be comforted, allows her to hug her. And they are just like, we will deal with this together. And I'm like, was not expecting any of that. It went from crazy to kind of sweet. But then Casca also wanders out. The crazy cult people are just like, oh, stay away from her. She has syphilis. Oh, I just want to see what she looks like. Takes the bandages off and reveals that she does not have that. And then they go to assault her. Not good. I need this girl protected. And apparently she is being protected because her corrupted fetus had previously appeared to warn off spirits who were like possessing dead bodies that supposedly could have attacked her. So her unborn child, corrupted child, is protecting her on that end. And when she ends up almost being assaulted, she gets flashbacks to the events of the eclipse. I did not need a repeat of that. She is further traumatized. She screams, and then the spirits appear around her to possess the people who were attacking her, and they end up like eating and attacking each other. And Luca and Nina are like thinking, oh, she's a witch. She's got a mark on her chest. We were hiding that because we didn't want people to think she was a witch and for her to be killed for no reason. But maybe she's actually a witch and she's controlling these people like this. I'm going with the mark ends her corrupted child, gives her the power to control the evil spirits, maybe in a way. It produces dark energy. She is life. They want life. Her soul is more powerful to overcome it, to control them kind of vibes going on. Yeah, cult members go down. And that's kind of where I stopped in the chapter, but more stuff has happened in between all the craziness with goat head snake lower member cult. Starting with the Holy Iron Chain Knights. So, oh God almighty, what? These lunatics have been after a lot. So, farnese, this girl. So, she's traveling with the, basically Spanish Inquisition. And they're going around and there's so many refugees begging for help. They're trying to get the food that's going into, whatever torture tower they're bringing it to. And they're begging for the food. That's when the smashed face head one comes in and is like, you shouldn't be attacking for the food that's meant for holy purpose, but maybe I'm meant to be here to help you. So why don't you come with me and we'll see you fed and taken care of, as there's like a mother with her emaciated child that's too weak to even nurse, and no way she's able to produce any milk to give them. So they go in, and at first it's like, oh, holy knights, thank you for helping us. We are so grateful. Leads mother to torture dungeon because no reason is adequately given. The bottom of her foot is like branded. She's just being tortured. And if she can withstand this torture, it means she's holy and righteous or something. Lord knows what's happening to the baby who supposedly got into a doctor. No way in hell. Unless he's going to end up being reared to some other branch of these holy knights. And then when farnese is traveling through another area, of refugees, essentially, she sees more and is like, if you repent, if you come here to this tower and you are proven good and holy, then you will be released and all will be well. And they're just like, no one who ever goes to that tower has ever come out alive. And she sees another mother with an emaciated child with flies buzzing around him. The child is dead. And she's realizing, oh God, we're on the crazy torture side. And she does not care. Like, at first she's looking at it and she wants to turn away, but they make her look at it. But by the end of the chapters I've read, she's fully embraced the torture and she's just reveling in it. And definitely going back to her childhood, which is throwing fire on the flames on the pyre. Oh, God almighty, I need to see exactly how crazy she goes. We also get some nice introductions with the individual members of the torture squad. So there's one who basically is allergic to the sun, the one wearing the bird mask. When he takes it off, he starts to blister when the sun hits him. And there's the twins who are just kindly feeding the crows. I'm pretty sure they're feeding them human body parts or skin or meat. Who knows? But basically, they had something that ostracized them from society, and Smash Face Guy took them in and gave them a home, and they are now ridiculously loyal to him. So before Farnese went completely crazy, she does ask, like, I don't understand how torturing people will bring them closer to salvation and holiness. How is this righteous? And the smashed face man decides to tell her a story, which really does not answer her question. In ancient times, there was a holy woman who practiced poverty and devoted her entire life to the aid of others. It is said that she would seek out those dying, abandoned by the world of man without even a second glance due to poverty, disease, and the like. She would cover them in blankets, embrace them, and hold their hand like a mother so they could at least have peace when God called for them. One time, she discovered, fallen by the wayside, an emaciated man who was dying. As always, she embraced the man and grasped his hand. But this is what he said: "The fact that I am lying here, rotting by the wayside, is proof that I have lived a proud life of solitude and independence. Please do not disgrace my sublime moment of death with your warmth." And then Farnese is just, or Farnese, how you say her name, is just standing there listening to the story, ... above her head, and she's like, okay, can continue. What's your point? This man did not want comfort. It does not mean the rest of the world wants to be tortured. We do not know what is enough to save a person. Perhaps it is all the more in God's hand for that. And more than anything, our actions are not based on other people or ourselves. All is within these scriptures. God. For God and God alone do we act. Thou shalt not deplore the people's misunderstandings. Thou shalt not fear thine own death, nor the death of others. Thou shalt not seek reward for thine actions. Thou shalt not question God. Whatever blood we spill in spirit or flesh, as man we continue to exist devoutly for God. That is what faith is about. May the Lord be with you. How in the world does that answer the question, why are you torturing people? So in conclusion, these people are crazy. I like their characters. I like the ones that are just pure crazy evil. I like the ones that have something going on with them. The one who's working for Farnese, that had picked her up from Guts, he's got some kind of backstory going on, as he left his post when someone was being tortured, I believe. This is what happens when I leave too much time between when I read the chapters and when I start talking about it. So there's the crazy, very, very crazy people again. Oh, I didn't even mention this scene here. So Guts and the kid and Puck are just traveling when big wheels start coming at them. And you're like, oh, wagon wheels, moving on their own? Oh, this is new. And YouTube will not like me if I show you this picture. It's the broken bodies of the ones who've been tortured previously. The evil spirit, or the spirits possessing them, I guess, coming after Guts. That is just good imagery. That is terrifying. Puck is not liking this. And the kid's just like, I don't recall being cursed by any wagon wheels. I'm like, appropriate reaction, kid. The cursed spirits are just screaming, go to hell, I'll rip your guts out, it hurts, curse you. Hate, huh? Those guys too. This is Guts talking. Usually it'd be the same for me too. Monsters or whatever, I don't care. I just want to unleash this black mass pent up inside me. And that's when he runs into Skull Knight again. An unearthly air bade me stop, and what do I find? You seem in good health, struggler. And Puck is just like, this is a friend of yours? What's going on, huh? Guts is basically just saying, why are you here? What's going on? Skull Knight is talking about how the apostles are near and that they look to not recreate the eclipse, but have a festival that imitates the eclipse. Guts does not like the idea of an eclipse, and Puck, sensing his emotion, says anxiety, fear, anger. It's as if an emotional floodgate has bursted inside Guts. Huh? But what's this? What's this emotion? Is this ecstasy? Like he's reveling in the idea of more violence. He's giving into that darker side of him, not just his need to protect Casca and prevent this tragedy from happening again, but also wanting to participate in this violence, but violence against the evil demon ones at this moment. He's feeding that darkness in him right now. He's talking about how last time Skullman had to get in there during the eclipse to save him and Casca, but this time he will save her with his own strength, his own human strength. That's a repeated thing that's brought up over and over again. And Puck is realizing this isn't just anger, it's more complex than that. All right, the ending of this book comes with a little kid watching his father be burned alive. And this old man's like, your dad's a heretic, isn't he? Does that mean like father, like son? And he's just a little kid. He doesn't know what's going on. Why they're killing his father. The old man's just like, if not, you'll have to prove it here. Give this a throw. And they give him the torch to throw on his own father's pyre. And the old man's like, I'm saying this out of kindness. Look around. Look at everyone's eyes. If you don't throw this here and now, you'll be the next one up there. Then the guy who I was talking about before, that's working with Farnese and got her from Guts, holds his sword out to the old man and is like, not to worry, the child bears no guilt. It was proven at his father's trial. And the people around who were watching the child is like, oh, is that true? Pardon us, we didn't know. So he is saving that kid. And then he's like, I expect no gratitude. And he leaves the scene of the torture that's happening. Forgive me, Lady Furnace, I do not feel well. Would you permit me to rest a spell? And he goes and leaves, taking a breath, when another knight guy comes up and is like trying to offer him some kind of understanding. He's like, hey, I understand why you left. So knight guy's trying to like comfort him, or at least be like, you did a good thing saving that kid. And he's like, it was nothing of the sort. Him and me were the same. My own mother was burnt as a heretic 3 years ago. And he's like, wait, 3 years ago? Could that be? And that's when we get Farnese's flashback with her throwing fire out. I was kind of thinking it was her own parents, but maybe it's that one who's traveling with her.
Extremely unlikely. She is far too young in that flashback for that to only be 3 years ago.
So a lot has happened in a couple chapters, and it's all a delight. It's all horrible. It's all absolutely horrible, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So now I get to start the next volume, because Berserk is an addicting read, and I'm probably going to start recording these a little differently, so I can read a couple chapters and do like a cut-in, almost like reading vlog. That way there's not going to be so much time between me actually reading the story and getting these videos out. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the next chunk, and we'll see how that goes. All right, talk to you later. Bye.